Hello and welcome. We're going to begin on our mats in seated Sukhasana cross-legged. So if you pop yourself up onto a cushion, maybe a couple of cushions, just to make sure your lower back can be light and long. So I find it really useful sitting up on something. So maybe you've got a couple of yoga blocks, a stack of cushions. Come to sit towards the front edge of them, crossing at your shins. Lean to one side and draw your buttock flesh out and back by pulling it out and back with your hands. And then just come to take your hands behind you up on your fingertips. For your belly gently drawing in, just take a moment to allow your breastbone to lift and open the top of your shoulders. And then just bring your hands to your thighs, keeping that nice opening through your chest. And then inhale, raise your arms all the way up above your head. And exhale, coming into a side bend. So just taking your hand to the side and allowing your other arm to come up and over. I'm going to go to each side. So inhale up through the middle, arms up. Exhale, arms go down. Then slide your hand to the side and let your opposite arm come up and over. Try to keep your neck nice and soft, your jaw and face relaxed. And we're just going to go for a few more rounds, feeling that lovely side stretch through the spine and the waist, breathing in through the nose, breathing out as you go to each side, trying to maintain that nice side opening rather than leaning forwards when you go to each side. Feel the support of your hand on the ground. Inhaling the arms up and exhaling over. Inhaling the arms up, have a stretch up in the center, and then exhale, bring your arms down and just uncross your legs, flexing through the feet, and then cross your shins the other way around this time. And again, lean to one side and just draw the buttock flesh out and back, coming onto the crest of your sit bones. Take your hands to your knees, and then start to draw your belly in and round back through your back, dropping your chin to your chest. And then as you go forwards, let your chest come through and your head gently lift. So we're doing an undulation of the spine here. So inhale through your nose, your chest and the heart comes forwards, let your elbows bend a little bit. Exhale as you round back, feeling that stretch through the whole of the back. Inhaling, coming forwards, keeping your neck soft again. Exhaling, going back, drawing the belly into the spine. And then slide your hands back to your hips. Inhale your arms all the way up above your head. Have a little stretch there. And then exhale, let your hands come down again. And then uncross your legs. I'm going to come round to hands and knees. So just popping your cushion, whatever you were sat on, just to one side. And come round to hands and knees. Feel free to place something under your knees if you need to, if they feel a little bit sensitive. Maybe a blanket or something. When you're ready, take your hands underneath your shoulders with your fingers spread wide and tuck your toes under, hip width apart, with your knees in line with your hips. And start to just warm up through the toes by going back and then going forwards over the wrists. So going back towards the heels with the bottom, feeling the stretch in the toes, and then going forwards a little bit over the weight of the wrists to feel them just gently stretching out and feeling that pressure going down through the wrists, which is really good for strengthening our bones. So feel the core gently engaging towards the spine as you move into this forwards and back motion, keeping shoulders away from the ears. You might want to go side to side with the hips just for a couple of rounds and then come back through the center. And then we'll prepare to come into a downward facing dog. So I'm just going to take my knees a little bit further back. So now I've got a slant from my wrist to my shoulders. I'm going to spread my fingers wide here, tuck the toes under, and then lift up and back with your hips. And just establishing a nice firm contact of your hands with the ground, opening the fingers wide, letting the shoulder blades draw down the back. Come up onto the balls of your feet. And then take one heel to the ground, bending the opposite knee, and then go to the other side. So just feeling that stretch through the straight leg into the calf and the Achilles tendon. And then come up onto the balls of the feet and let both heels come down towards the floor. Maybe wriggle your bottom a bit from side to side. And slowly come down onto your knees. And then we're going to lie ourselves down all the way onto our tummy. Let's take our legs as wide as our mat as we just stretch our body and our stomach and our chest along the length of the mat. Bring your forehead to the floor. We're going to take our hands out from either side of our mat with our fingertips on the floor. So let's raise our elbows up above the wrists so you can start to feel an engagement here between the shoulder blades and just start to feel your lower belly drawing in towards your spine. Allow your head to lift a little bit and we're coming up into Bhujangasana Cobra Pose. So inhaling, lifting the chest forwards and up, exhaling, coming down. So keep squeezing into the shoulder blades. Inhale, coming up, allowing your gaze to just move in the direction of the motion of the chest. Exhale, coming down. And inhale, going up again, sweeping forwards and gently up with the chest. Exhaling to come down. Bring your hands back under your shoulders, tuck your toes, and then press up to kneeling and coming back to downward facing dog. Adjust your feet so they're about hip width or slightly wider. And breathe nice deep breaths here into your body. Drawing the belly in, extending up and back with your hips. Come down onto your knees and turn onto your side and stack your legs one on top of the other. Just bring the knees slightly forwards and a little bit away from the angle of your hips. We're going to come into a side plank. So bring your elbow down right underneath your shoulder. And then you're going to turn your palm to face your body and just make a fist like you're holding a nice bunch of flowers or something. And then we're going to scoop our hand underneath our waist and just draw that up so we're bringing our spine into a nice neutral position and bring the head back a little bit in line with the spine. Bring the top hand onto your body. Now press down through your shins and lift up and squeeze into your bottom glute, the side of your hip. And then if you can, raise your top arm up. You really need to squeeze into that bottom hip and the waist. Now maybe you can lift the top leg and also squeeze into that outer hip, or just keep the leg where it is. Hold and breathe for a few breaths and then gently come down, lowering down, and we're going to swap our legs over to the other side. So swiveling around, lying on your side. We're going to stack the legs on top of each other. I'm going to flex the feet here. And then look down, bring that elbow right underneath the shoulder with the forearm forwards, and then make a fist, turning that palm to face in. So let's scoop our waist up again. So coming underneath, do a little scoop and a lift up. Feel those muscles engaging on the side waist. Head back in line with the spine. Press through that lower leg to lift up. And maybe raise the arm up. Really squeeze into that bottom outer hip and the waist. Stay there, or maybe lift the top leg and really squeeze into that outer hip, strengthening the hips and the lower back with this. Really healthy side plank for the core. Okay, slowly coming down, lowering down, and let's swivel back round onto our hands and our knees for another round of Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Spread the hands wide, push the hips back with your toes tucked under, lift up and back. Your legs can be bent or they can come towards straight as long as it's not compromising your lower back. So make sure your lower back feels long and light. You might want to look between your hands if you like and really press the thighs back and the lower legs and the shins back. Wriggle around a little bit. You can do various motions forwards and back on your toes. When you're ready, come down gently onto a kneeling position. So we're going to come into a child pose. I'm going to bring a little cushion in front of me. You can bring a yoga block if you like, just for your forehead to rest on. We're going to touch our big toes together and take the knees a little bit apart. You can have a cushion in between your bottom and your heels if you need more space in the back of your knees, so feel free to grab that. And then we're going to come down with our fingertips to the floor and just kind of wriggle your bottom a little bit here side to side, just to kind of ease out through the inner thighs and the groins. And then keeping the hips anchoring back towards the heels, we're going to slowly start to come forward. So I draw my belly in, start to go forwards one by one with the fingertips, reaching out, lengthening the arms, and then just let your head start to come and rest on your support, bringing that up as high as you need to bring the ground up to you. Feel free to then relax your arms if you wish, and you can just let the elbows bend and just soften now into Balasana, child posture. Just feel into your breath here. Notice the breath rising and falling in your body, feeling that inner massage of your breath on the in and the out. Feel yourself just letting go of any thoughts, any worries or concerns through the out-breath. When you're ready, just slowly starting to crawl your hands back, coming out of child pose. And we're going to prepare to lie down on our back for Shavasana. So take a little pillow maybe under your head. Feel free to cover yourself with a blanket here if you like. And we're going to start just in a semi-supine with our feet on the floor. And just adjust your pillow where you need to support the back of your head. And take your hands to rest on your tummy. And just take a moment settling here, letting your lower back soften. Feeling that connection of your hands with your belly. And taking your time to gradually extend your legs away from you for Shavasana. And let your arms come off your yoga mat with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Making sure your arms are nice and spacious, definitely off the mat. Let your feet flop out to the side. Let your legs be long, loose and heavy from the hips. Close your eyes if you haven't already, or just have a soft gaze if you prefer your eyes to be open. Let your whole body relax as you soften from the inside out. Feel your shoulders relaxing, becoming heavy into the ground. Arms long and loose, relaxed all the way down into the wrists and the hands and fingers. Back of your head heavy. Let it relax fully into the support and feel all of your facial muscles relaxing. Softening around the eyes, the eye muscles themselves. And then gradually beginning to just wriggle a little bit in your fingers and your toes. Taking a few deeper breaths down into the belly. When you feel ready, slowly bend your knees, placing your feet to the floor, and take a moment settling there. Breathing in and out. And we're going to roll just onto our side, whatever side you choose. Lie in a little fetal position. Bring your knees comfortably towards your chest, head relaxed, arms over, feeling that cozy, comfy position on your side. I'm going to very slowly come up from the side. So press your hand down and start to come round back into seated cross-legged Sukhasana. Take a cushion again or some yoga blocks, whatever you got to sit on, and raise your hips up so that you can be long and light in your lower back. Allow your chest to grow gently up. Let your hands come to your knees and take a moment to arrive into seated. Turn your palms up on your thighs and with your eyes closed, take a moment just to breathe into your heart. Imagine you're breathing in and out of your heart center. And bring to your heart, your mind's eye as well, just something that you're really grateful for in your life. Maybe it's somebody or maybe it's something that you're just really, really grateful for, and just feel into that. Feel into how that makes you feel, that gratitude that you have for that person or that experience or whatever it is in your life that you're grateful for. And allow this feeling of gratitude to really expand and open into your heart. Feeling how it makes you feel when you're feeling gratitude. Let it expand from your heart out into every single cell of your body. And gently then bring your hands into a Namaskar prayer and bring your hands to your heart. Feel that lovely connection of your hands with your breastbone. And gently bowing your head down towards your heart and your hands. And just feel yourself taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, breathing out any last bits of tension down through your body and into the earth to be transformed. Slowly let your hands release and then gently open your eyes to gaze down and forwards, coming back into your room. Namaste.